The money line is back. We got the new look. I'm here with my man Mike Finch. We're gonna talk about UFC Vegas 46. Dude, I'm digging the new look, Mike. How you feeling?
Oh, it's so beautiful, man. I'm feeling fantastic. So excited to kick off 2022 with some badass fights, man. This main event has had me pumped all week, and I love kicking it off with this card. This is perfect. Also, updated the tech over here, so we're looking good. New camera. We're going big for 2022. Moneyline's not playing around. We're doubling down for 2022, guys. Keep it here for your picks.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Smash the like button too. As you guys know, if you're new, make sure to subscribe. We got a fun card to talk about. We have been out of fights for a while now. Has it? It's been over a month, man.
It's crazy, right? I mean, there was no UFC, no Bellator. As you guys know, I got so much love for Bellator. I work for them, and I haven't been able to even work, man. We've had no fights, so super fun to come back to some good fist fights. And then Bellator, they've been announcing those cards. So excited to go head out and call those ones. So the drought is over, ladies and gentlemen. We back.
Yeah, and then next week we got heavyweight championship. So this is fuego action through and through. Quickly before we get into it, it's in dude. You're gonna have to go to the fight. Are you getting tickets? What's your plan here?
I think I gotta go. I gotta go.
You have to go.
Couple guys I train, they want to go like cage side. They're trying to get me to spend too much. So shout out to Tawab and Kevin. Maybe we'll go cage side. You guys are buying.
If they're buying, you're definitely going, man. You need that front row seat. Bro, if I'm going to a UFC event, I'm trying to get up close, man. The nosebleeds, bro, I can watch it on TV. It'll look better. I don't need to be in the way back, man.
Facts, man. Facts. There's nothing like watching fights with all the beautiful camera angles and everything that you get, But I'm blessed with Bellator specifically, and all these shows I've been calling for years. I get to sit cage side. When you're cage side, man, and you hear those shots, I got to hear Sergio Pettis knock out Kyoji Horiguchi. It's a lifelong memory, brother. My adrenaline was going all night, so nothing quite like sitting 10 feet from the cage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. That's definitely in the books, man. It's one of my goals, man. I want to be cage side at some of these events, specifically
we're gonna make that
UFC.
Happen.
We're gonna do it, man. We're gonna be there 100%. I gotta talk a little bit of fight news for a moment with you, Mike. I haven't talked about this at all to you. This is purely live. Masvidal Covington. Do you like it or not?
Do I like it? I love it. Of course, that's the fight we needed to make, man. Look, they were best friends, and then there's this big rivalry. Does that remind you of anybody? Chuck Liddell, Tito Ortiz. It's that throwback type of a fight, man. It's striker versus wrestler. I mean, you could go up and down the list. It is just fun to watch for so many reasons. Masvidal and Covington, awesome storied fight, man. It was the only matchup to make.
Yeah, I honestly am going to say this. Chael Sonnen did a video and I watched it. And I got to say, he kind of sold me on Masvidal not needing to take the loss. I don't think he beats Colby Covington. I'm telling you out the gate right now. Stylistically, that's a hellish matchup. And in the back of his mind, I don't know. Of course, you have to have supreme confidence to fight, and he's going to believe he's going to win. But there's easier fights that could have been made for him. That's kind of just what I was thinking. Potentially wait for maybe Leon Edwards if he loses, even that fight. Safer, but still a high-level fight. I don't know, man. I'm nervous for Street Judas.
Street Judas or Street Jesus, depends on who you talk to, right? Listen, I think that Nate is kind of doing the same thing, right? Nate Diaz and Poirier, like, Nate, why Poirier, man? Like, jump back and get a nice W. They're going to be in these dog fights where they're underdogs. You got to love it from a fan's perspective. And we got to look at it like this. These guys are not at the beginning of their career, So if you want to get big pay-per-view dollars, you got to take big pay-per-view fights. That's what Masvidal's doing.
Yeah, no, that is probably top fight he can get outside of maybe waiting for a McGregor sweepstakes. That would realistically be a fluke luck option. I don't think McGregor's picking him. And I don't know if that's going to happen now with the Colby fight. Because if he beats Colby, McGregor's like, shit, I don't want to fight that savage. If he loses, he just lost to Colby Covington. That fight's gone.
Look, it doesn't make sense anyway. Guys, Conor was the 145-pound champion. Then he moved up to 155. Now him fighting at 170 against the best fighters at 170. Is Khabib going to fight at middleweight? That would be the equivalent. That would be Khabib versus Yoel Romero. Does that look right to you? No, I don't think so. So,
I'll take Khabib, man. I'll take Khabib.
What's that?
I said I'll take Khabib, man. I'll take Khabib for the win.
Khabib, Yoel. Wow. If it's the Yoel who need Chris Weidman in the face, I
Different
don't
level.
know, man. I don't
I'm talking
know.
about the Phil Davis one that we saw, man.
It was his Bellator debut. He said he thought it was 5 rounds. I don't know. I don't know. We
That's
might
crazy.
still have more to go with Yoel. I'm not writing Yoel off for this reason. I got to sit behind him. We take the bus to the airport. I got to sit behind him. I have never seen, like, his neck is bigger than his head. I'm looking at him like he doesn't look like anybody else I've ever seen. So maybe I shouldn't expect him to perform like anybody else I've ever seen. So don't doubt my man Yoel. He might take care of business. Khabib might shoot on him and hit a brick wall.
No, he would, man. No, I'll be honest with you, man. The size is a fucking factor. That's too much, man. That would be
Yes.
super Habib. Hamzat, okay, we talking a fight now, man.
I'm
But
thinking
that's
Hamzat beats Khabib up.
dude. Oh yeah. I agree. Hamzat's different level, but we can talk MMA news and different opinions all day long. We got a fight card. We got to get into, guys. Smash the likes if you're watching. If you're new, subscribe, turn the post notifications on. Maybe share the video if you think somebody you know might enjoy the content. Let's keep it going and let's start it off. The first fight of the night, short notice replacement. Kevin Croom fights Brian Kelleher. Kelleher was initially supposed to fight Sergio Karamanov, who's this scary prospect, a guy that I expected to beat him. He now fights Kevin Croom, who scrappy, has a big win against Roosevelt Roberts, but, prior one, not an impressive fight, losing to Caceres, but Caceres, though, has looked good. He's got decent striking game. I'm not super impressed by the wrestling. It doesn't appear to me that there's things that Kelleher can't do to him, I guess is the best way to put it. Like, I feel like Kelleher is going to be able to get his game going. He'll get the strikes flowing. He'll probably even work towards maybe some grappling exchanges. He's going to be better conditioned. Do you see a path for victory for Kevin Croom here, or are you with me on Team Kelleher?
I think I'm on Team Kelleher, but Croom has an opportunity here to scrap, to show us what he can do on short notice. When you come in on short notice, the bar is already lowered for you. The expectations are already lowered. I think the odds are reflecting that. So, for Croom, it's all opportunity for him, man. That's the way he needs to look at it. If Croom has the right mindset, when he gets going, he can absolutely tag and finish anybody. I think Brian Kelleher is also a finisher. And so when you have two finishers fighting each other, anything can happen, AJ. So it's the sport of mixed martial arts, man. I think Kelleher, though, I mean, if you're betting on this fight, which is what I assume you're doing by tuning in, you'd have to think that Kelleher gets on top of him and hurts him, does well on the feet with them, and the gas tank difference. What type of shape is Croom going to come in? I just don't think it's going to match Kelleher just based on the fact that he took the fight on this short a notice, man. This is not even 2 weeks notice or something like Masvidal and Usman. Wasn't it about 2 weeks? This is real short notice. So it's impressive they can even get the commission to sign off on this one. I'm going Kelleher. He could go TKO submission. I just think Kelleher is going to finish this fight. Maybe late, second or third round. That would be the smart thing to do. Drag this one out a little bit. Let Croom shoot his shot. And when Croom gets tired, capitalize.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think Croom's best shot is in the first 3 minutes. We saw him beat Roosevelt. Granted, it was actually overturned now, but in the moment, he beat Roosevelt Roberts quickly by a submission. It was lightning speed fight. Could he do it to Kelleher? Of course, there's a chance. Likelihood, I say, is low. I'm with you, bro. Team Kelleher. The odds, pretty accurate. You can find the best value, minus 290. But I don't think anybody's running to the lines to play this ticket because I do think Croom is a scrapper, and you got to give him the respect.
You have to give him the respect. Absolutely. It's such a short notice fight that I think the odds are right on this one.
Yeah, I agree, man. I'm looking forward to it, though, because it's the first fight to start off the new year, 2022, and I'm expecting a banger. At the very least.
I think so. If you're not quite in perfect shape for the fight, just go out there and finish it in the first round. It's like shoot your shot. So I feel like Croom should come out there, let his hands go, and this one should be fun.
Yeah, I expect the same. Nothing less from either. Good one. Betting wise, I'm going to pass. I don't know. I just don't like the minus 290 tag. A little bit too much for me, man. A little bit too much. But we'll keep on moving up and jump to the next fight. Well, this fight got canceled. Unfortunately, we had the image there for Kelleher Karamanov. We'll go one more. McGee versus Brahimaj. This is a fun matchup. I'm very interested in this fight, man.
Yes.
Pick'em's odds. It's close, and for good reason. I feel like Brahimaj, being the younger guy, is going to have some speed advantages. I think he's got potentially superior wrestling, but we know as far as offensive submission skill set, it favors Brahimaj. The thing
Yeah.
Court McGee has proven for his toughness. You can't beat this guy. He doesn't get stopped. I mean, he'll lose decisions. He hasn't been stopped in a very long time. He hasn't been submitted, I don't believe, in a long time. I don't think Brahimaj is going to go out there and tap him. I'm kind of expecting Brahimaj to look to clinch up, grapple, even potentially use some speed advantages striking, but not get into a scrap with Court McGee. But a technical win by a decision is where I'm going here. Mike, what do you think?
Look, Court McGee does not lose via finish. It's very hard to submit Court McGee. He's a well-rounded guy. Origins and training with John Hackelman. That's Chuck Liddell's old coach. You know, he's a total veteran. But not to be disrespectful, because people take this as a disrespectful term. He's kind of a gatekeeper. You know, he's kind of one of those guys you've got to get through to get into the upper echelon of the division. I think Brahimaj has the tools to do that. You know, if you look at Brahimaj, absolute finisher. He gets people to the ground and he strangles them. He is very, very slick no matter where he's at. He could fight off of his back. He could fight in your half guard and submit you, man. He is nasty. So on the ground, I think the clear advantage goes to Brahimaj, and that really messes up Court McGee's style. Court McGee's the kind of guy, make sure not too much happens on the feet, get those clinches, get those takedowns. I think he's going to have a lot of trouble doing that to Brahimaj. I think Brahimaj, is in a competitive fight until he finds something, and he'll be one of the only people, if not the only person, you got to dig in through that long record of Court McGee's to finish Court McGee. I really like this fight for Brahimaj. I think this is his big coming out party, and you're going to really start seeing him in some big matchups after this one. Big fan of him. I think he gets it done via submission.
I like it. And I like the courage to say he's going to get a finish. I got to respect that, Mike. We're going to look at the prop for this one because I am very curious to see what a submission prop against Court McGee is going to be at, because durability, obviously the factor here.
Nobody submits Court.
Nobody submits him, but you think that there's a chance? Plus 405. Huge. So I guess if you're looking to maybe sprinkle some Hail Mary style prop, Mike's confident. I'm more leaning decision, but you got a submission ace. It's definitely possible. Plus 400 value is fantastic.
It's the only way Brahimaj has ever won in his whole career. Look through all of his fights. He submits everyone. I think he sticks to his ways, man. I don't think that Court McGee is the guy who's going to give him those problems. I think it's going to be competitive, but eventually I think he finds that neck, man. Rear naked choke, Brahimaj.
I like it. I like the confidence as well. That's a damn good one, man. The fights are heating up fast. Good card. Good card to come back. Even not the heaviest name value we've had. It's not like a pay-per-view card.
Yeah.
It's still got a lot of good scraps, really, especially when you look deep and really look at these guys. There's high potential for very good fights.
Absolutely, man. I think the odds on this one are wrong. I think it's a good fight, but I do think Brahimaj should be a favorite here. They're giving Court McGee a lot of love for the veteran status, but this is one of the new kids on the block, man. Watch out for this guy.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. Let's jump to the next one. It is Charles Rosa, who takes the fight on super short notice to fight TJ Brown. And obviously Brown, a huge favorite coming in, similar situation with Kelleher Croom. If you have this fight where both guys have a full training camp, I only see Brown slightly leaning him as the favorite because, I mean, Rose is an OG. He's got a very good ground game. Of course, he's been controlled in a couple of fights. Bryce Mitchell comes to mind, Darek Minner. But stylistic matchups, those aren't easy. And TJ Brown isn't that guy on the ground. His striking, I would say, is more so what he tends to lean to. He's got a unique stand-up style, good pressure. He'll do different types of feints to try to find openings. The wrestling, it's going to be there. I don't think TJ Brown is bad on the floor by any means. I don't see it as like a serious weakness in his game, but I'm expecting more high volume striking. When you take on Rosa, you got a guy who's also willing to mix it up on the feet. And I feel like Rosa's going to give it hell on the feet as much as he can. But how much does he have in him, Mike? How much stamina can you have taking a fight on 3 days' notice?
It totally is circumstantial to how they were training. So if you have like the Michael Chandler mindset, of course, they actually paid him to come in as an alternate for when Habib fought Justin Gaethje. then you're ready. You have a full training camp. You're ready to go. If he was, in his head possibly going to fight and whatnot, then they're in shape. They're ready to go. If they're in the gym consistently, they're in shape. They're ready to go. That's somebody who could take a fight and win it. Do you remember when Nate Diaz came in against Conor McGregor? Maybe you remember that fight.
I do.
That's what I'm saying. It's like some of these guys who train year round, who do things like Paul Felder was running a triathlon, right? When he came in on short notice. It's like, if you're in shape and you know how to fight, you can come in and win. Absolutely. So it really is circumstantial, On the other side of it, some people come off the couch. So when you come off the couch and you just want to get a check, yeah, you're going to gas quick. Okay. When I take just a couple weeks off, brother, I flew back to Chicago. I had some, I had to go get my Portillos. I had to go get my Culvers since there aren't too many around here. I gained like maybe 8 pounds.
You're having a fun fucking week, man.
I had a good week. I came back. My cardio was horrific, okay? And I was just sparring a couple weeks ago, literally 2 weeks of eating bullshit, and I was gassing fast. So it is truly incredible how fast you get out of shape, man. That's why when somebody takes a fight on short notice, I don't think I've ever bet on them, because when somebody comes in on, like you said, 3 days notice, it's just insane, man. I have no idea what their camp was like, and I can't trust them. I've made that mistake before. You listen to like Tito Ortiz before he fights, and Tito's like, I'm in the best shape of my life. I feel great. And then at the post-fight press conference after he loses, he goes, oh, my neck was bugging me. I did this, my knee, my back, like, Tito, you just sold us the whole time telling us that you were in the best shape of your life and that you feel great, and then somebody goes out and bets based on what you're saying. And then you're afterwards, you're like, just kidding, man. I'm all messed up, So I wouldn't take his word for it even, So digging back into the fight now, Rosa and Brown, you got to love it. I do think TJ Brown is good enough on the ground to deal with Rosa. He's a pretty strong grappler. He's got some chokes, he's choked some guys out before, and he's looked good. And on the feet, he has an advantage, man, especially with a tired Charles Rosa. So I'm going to go with Brown, and I think this is one is going to go all three. I'm going to go Brown decision.
I like that because I do think Rosa, even on short notice, can last. I'll be honest, it's got to be like a special place in my heart for Rosa because I've won money with him in the past as an underdog. He's a Boston native, so I got to give Rosa some love, but I can't pick him on 3 days notice. Are you serious? Am I trying to get burned here? No. TJ Brown is probably going to go out there, keep a high pace that Rosa can't keep up with, and win. How's he going to do it? Striking, probably more so. I could see some clinch work. Maybe even Brown landing a few takedowns because, at the end of the day, a tired Rosa, I don't see as a serious threat on the floor. He doesn't have like that style of jiu-jitsu game where it's just constant danger from him. I'm expecting Brown win by decision. I'm with you 100% here.
There it is. Signed off.
Yeah, that's it, bro. And the odds are not atrocious, but they're strong favor of TJ Brown. You're looking best value now as the week's gone on. It's come down a bit from what we have listed. You can find it around minus 235 to plus 210. It's not bad. I mean, if you wanted to play TJ Brown, I mean, he's a guy that has a full camp. He's not a bad fighter. How old is TJ Brown? Let me quickly pull up his
maybe you guys throw some down on the guys with full camps. Maybe that's the theme of today, right? Full camps versus 3 days notice camp.
I think there's got to be a full camp parlay for this card.
There you go. Full camp versus no camp.
Yeah, I'm taking the full campers, man. I got to go with guys that've been getting ready for these fights. Should be good though. I'm excited. Either way, I like seeing Charles Rosa fight. He's fun to watch, and I do like him, but I'm picking against him here. Can't go to pick off just the love for the guy.
True. I've had that problem myself, man. True. Got to bet with your brain, not your heart.
That's it, bro. And now let's keep on running up the card. The next one here, Bush versus Borshchev, Dakota Bush and Slava Claus, aka Borshchev, man. He has all different names. I don't even know his first name pronouncing it. I mean, I kind of wanted you to give it a shot, Mike. It's you have it up. You have Topology up, man.
Oh my god! The last name I was fine, bro. The first name, you're gonna kill me, dude.
Vyacheslav Borshchev. I believe that's how you say it. I call him Slava Claus.
Vyacheslav Borshchev.
Slava Claus, man. Slava Claus. We call him Slava Claus.
Slava Claus on this podcast. Look,
Yes.
I got to get these names down, dude. I got to get these international fighters squared
Dude,
away,
the
man.
names are sometimes
doing
tricky.
I know. I was doing interviews with a fighter from Kyrgyzstan. His name was another level hard, brother. Shout out to Captain Eric, by the way. They had us out over the weekend doing some interviews, and Eric, was showing us some love, so we wanted to show some love back, make sure we interview some of his guys. Dude, the craziest name I think I've ever seen. I'm going to bring this one for the next podcast,
I definitely want
guys.
to hear
Tune
it.
in. We're going to give him a shout out, and I'm going to learn how to say it.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Well, besides the crazy name, I needed to hear, what do you think
Right.
about this fight? Who's going to win here, Mike?
I love this fight. First of all, this is one of those fight of the night type fights. Big fan of this one. And I think Bush, first off, he takes big risks. If you watch him fight, like in his last fight against Austin Hubbard, he threw like 5 kicks in a row. Okay, he'll just bang, throw. I mean, he's just like the Energizer Bunny when he's out there and letting his hands go. When he's feeling himself, man, he's a fun guy to watch. He rushes forward, like trying to sweep Austin Hubbard and doing all types of crazy stuff. He's reckless, man, and good on the ground. Not the type of guy you want to end up underneath. You do not want to end up underneath Dakota Bush. That's a big problem. Like I said, he's got good cardio, very, very driven, and he's good once he gets in that top position. Borshchev is the exact polar opposite on the feet. Okay, Borshchev is like one of the most disciplined strikers I've seen, man. Keeps his chin tucked, covers and counters really well. Did you see that left hook knockout on Dana White Contender Series?
It was beautiful. It sold me on Borshchev. He's crisp. That type of check left hook is fantastic. No fat on it. Boom. It's like almost like how Oliveira hit Chandler. You don't even see that left hook coming at you. I'm with you, man. The striking game of Slava is a problem. And like you said with Bush, man, he takes risks, but also I'm going to say he's a little bit of a reckless fighter. And I feel like you can be reckless at the lower levels and fuck guys up because they're not going to be as good as, the same level of the UFC. Slava, you want to come reckless at him? That head is on the center line a lot. I see the hook landing. I can see a knockout.
Yep. This is totally teed up for a Borshchev knockout. That's exactly what I'm seeing. Now, what's the best argument against the Slav knockout? I would say it's the takedowns of Bush. If Bush can get on top in this fight, we've seen Borshchev get taken down, even in that fight in Dana White's Contender Series. He got taken down a couple times, man. His wrestling is not really UFC caliber yet. So that's the only issue I have with this fight and betting on it. Still, one of my favorite bets of the night. And if it stays on the feet for any meaningful amount of time, I'm thinking Borshchev lays him out. The way that Bush likes to throw real wide, the way he'll throw multiple techniques at the same time, like when you're in the cage, right? So in my last fight, the guy kicked me in the leg once. I'm thinking, please kick me in the leg again because now I'm ready for it, right? So next time he kicked me in the leg, boom, I caught it, I took him down. When Borshchev sees one of those wide hooks or something, he'll maybe block the first one. The next time you go for that wide hook, boom, he's going to time you, man. He's too good to be playing around with these wide, crazy shots. Borshchev, knockout.
Knockout. I'm with you, bro. I wrote that down. Borshchev by KO. I could see it in the first or second. He's going to figure out the pattern that is kind of, I don't want to say obvious with Dakota Bush, but when you're a little bit reckless, right, and you do similar techniques consistently, guys can figure you out. Yep. Bush, I'm not trying to hate on the guy. I do think he has possible attributes, to develop his game, but unpredictability is a real factor. Slava's hard to read. I don't see Bush being able to be near that level on the feet, and I expect a masterclass style win for Slava Claus knockout at a reasonable price tag for a guy with this much hype, and that's because the takedown defense is a hole, bro. It's a serious hole, though. We have to really say, like, Dakota Bush, if he can time the takedown after takedown, there's a chance we're disappointed after this fight and it's a grinding win. But realistically, I don't see Bush getting the first takedown. And if he does land the takedown, can he keep Slava down for that long. I haven't seen Slava, at least in recent bouts, grinded against. Granted, he hasn't taken on that level of wrestler, but
That's what it
I
is.
don't think Dakota Bush is that level of wrestler. Even if he has the offensive wrestling ability with the takedown, his top control isn't there, that I don't see him controlling him just the whole way through. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, yeah, and let me unpack that even a little more. It seems that this is the test to see if he's even capable of competing with good wrestlers. Like if he's even really capable of competing at a higher level in professional mixed martial arts, where somebody's trying to take him down, because there are better wrestlers than Bush, and he will face them once he gets to the top of the division. So he's going to answer a lot of questions on Saturday night, and one of them is going to be, can he defend the takedown? And if he's taken down, can he get up? And those two things I'm very interested to find out. My guess is yes. But I must say he's one of the, if you like had to map out areas for him to work on, takedown defense and wrestling. Like that is so clear. I hope that has been his focus, and we'll see what he looks like against somebody in Bush who, is going to put a high pace on him, man, is going to definitely turn it up on him. That being said, this is a crazy mismatch on the feet. I think the mismatch on the feet is bigger than the mismatch on the ground, and that's actually saying a lot. So I really think Borshchev punches him in the face and gets a nice finish here.
Yeah, I'm with you. And he also has been training at Team Alpha Male. So I think that's got to be something that gives us a little reassurance, because
Most
there's
definitely.
hell of wrestlers over there. So he's got a good team. The knockout prop is plus 125. Him just to win straight, minus 180, minus 190. We have listed here. It depends on what bookie you're at. If you can find him in that range, I like Moneyline, but realistically speaking, for him to win is by knockout. Bush's best method of victory is getting this fight to the floor. Can you imagine Bush somehow sinks something in, chokes him out, says a F you to the money line? You guys doubted me.
Looks at the camera like Big Tuna after he finished Christian Edwards. Don't you ever doubt me again. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Yeah. Hey, I hope he does. Good luck. Good luck, man. But I'm thinking the opposite. I'm thinking he needs to clean up those hands a little bit.
Agreed. We'll keep on moving because we got lots of action to go through. Jamie Pickett versus Joseph Holmes. This is a good matchup. I'm very intrigued to see these two go after it here. And it's also, I believe, the featured prelim of the night. So pretty exciting stuff right here between these two. I feel like I want to get your take first. I've talked to the people a lot that have seen the video. If you guys haven't, make sure to check out the full card predictions as well. I really was just strong on the factor that these guys are built very similar. And seeing that, it's hard for me to go against experience. What do you think about this matchup, Mike?
Absolutely. You hit a nail on the head there, which is that Jamie Pickett has faced a significantly higher level of competition. Okay. That doesn't mean that Holmes, doesn't have good kickboxing experience, because he does. I was digging back into some of those old fights. He is a good striker himself, but I think Pickett is a better technician. I think Pickett's cleaner. Holmes can box a little bit, but I still think he gets hurt by Pickett. And Pickett's very physically imposing too. I think that Pickett's maybe even a little bigger. I'm interested to see him at weigh-ins. I want to see them stand next to each other. You're right, similar, but the competition level difference, a little bit extra experience for Pickett. I like Pickett in this one, and Holmes has a lot of competition experience too, because if you go look back at all of the, he's got kickboxing fights, MMA fights, so he's been there. It's just like competition level, like who has a higher competition level? Who do you think, AJ? Who do you think has a higher competition level between the two?
It's hard to go against Pickett for the recent UFC bouts. I guess now I really want to just bring up their records just to get official take. We'll talk about the last few. Tafon Chukwi was the debut for Pickett. That's a fair fight. Jordan Wright was a bad loss, and then he beat Laureano Starpoli. He also lost to Punale Soriano by a decision on the Contender Series a while back. And then also before that, he lost to Charles Bird on the Contender Series, who didn't have a very long career. And he also fought a guy named Marcus Finch and beat him. And funny enough, man, is that your brother? Was there any relation to Marcus
It's not
Finch?
Me, bro. It's not me.
You.
It's not me. Mike Finch, Marcus Finch, not me. There is another Mike Finch MMA fighter, by the way. Unfortunately, he's 0-10 and he's from Texas. Damn it, Mike Finch. You're making people, they're looking me up and they're seeing this guy, Damn,
everybody's like, dude, Mike
I wish
Finch,
he was
you're
good.
0-10? Yeah, I know, man.
0-10. 0-10.
Dude, I would say stop it, maybe 0-4.
Damn. Yeah, for real.
That's
Or
crazy.
change it up. Go to that Team Alpha male, man. Jump in.
Yeah. But let's quickly look towards the resume of Joseph Holmes, purely MMA.
Please.
Jovan Pati, they both share a win over him. Shantae Barnes,
Mhm.
okay competition.
Mhm.
Dwayne Griggs, 3-2. But then you look before that, he has a win over an 0-1 Michael Tovar, 6-8 Tyler Jones.
See
He
what I'm
did
talking
beat a
about?
guy named Ryan Leninger, 4-1. But
Mhm.
the level ain't there. And he also lost to Jordan Newman, but you got to give Newman some love. He's a solid fighter over in Bellator now with the good wrestling game, which is a factor. I
Mhm.
think Jamie Pickett wins here. I'm going for the higher level experience. I think he could be a tricky stylistic matchup. Potential. People have said, "Oh, I'm guaranteeing stoppage." I'm like, man, I could see these guys going 3 rounds.
I can't guarantee a stoppage with this one, but definitely Pickett has the ability. They both have the ability to finish each other, but Pickett could put a nice right hand on him and put him out. Man, I like that we agree on this one, guys. Look at those odds. Not bad action. This is not financial advice. However, I like those odds.
I'm with you, man. I like those odds a lot. I like the play here. Jamie Pickett for the win. Underdog. Some plus money for yourself. Get a little cash for the weekend. Let's see what the plus money is at officially, because we got to get the updated look. Plus 135. So you can get it even better than what you're seeing on screen if you're
Mm.
lucky enough for your bookie having it at that level.
There you go. I like it, guys. I like it. How could you hate on that, man? I think experience in this one is going to be a big factor. You're in the UFC. It's like spotlights on and who's going to shine. I think it's Pickett.
Yeah, I'm with you. Well, next segment, we're going to jump to the main card. Yeah, a little new look action, a little extra, man.
Woo! Let's go.
Not just me hyping it up. There's a little show for it. Now, for the people watching, smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, turn the post notifications on, show some love, leave us a comment too. What you think of our picks? Give us your honest take. We love you guys, though, really. The supporters are much appreciated.
Yep.
Next fight of the night, we're going to keep on running. The first one on the main card. Is this the official order? Potentially, because Tapology is all over the place now. So potentially this we're looking at as the co-main event now. They just shifted it. They're saying Collier is the co-main event. So we'll wait to talk about that one. We'll jump
Okay.
to the next one here. I want to go Algeo Brito first. If I don't know if that's finalized, but if that's the co-main, we'll treat it as such with Tapology. Algeo Brito's fun for me. This is
Yes.
very fun for me because
Yes.
you have Brito, absolute savage. This guy's throwing power strikes only. Like from what I remember watching the Contender Series fight, looking back on him, it's power, pressure power, good top control, very physically strong, a hard guy to move when he's in that top position. But unfortunately, has that bad habit of the eye pokes, which ended his fight over on the Contender Series. Granted, he's lucky enough to get a technical decision win. Now, stepping out there, taking on Bill Algeo, who's not an easy guy to fight. He's lanky, he's awkward, he keeps his hands low, he throws shots from the waist. I think the underdog is here in this matchup. What do you think, Mike?
I like it. Look, Brito fights like Vanderlei Silva, okay? He comes out there and he throws bombs. He is looking to decapitate people. He's got that old shoot the box style. And it really, really shines through when this guy starts banging. So, very exciting fighter and, a powerful guy, man. He can blitz forward and get on top of people. I like his strength, his just tenacity when he fights. It's a very tough style to deal with. You really have to be a sniper. You really have to be an Anderson Silva. You really have to be a Giga Chikadze. You really have to be able to find those shots that are going to slow that person down and keep them off of you. Is Algeo going to be able to do that? Here's something I do like about him. He fights from another row back. So he likes a longer range. He keeps his hands low and he uses his feet to create defense. You throw a crazy shot at him, he'll slide a little bit back, pop, try to come in. That's a pretty good style to deal with the Brito style. Here's the issue, AJ. We're at the apex. The apex has that little tiny cage, all right? In that little tiny cage, I think Brito's going to find that chin. I think he's going to blitz him. I like him in the wrestling department in this one too. I'm going to go ahead and go Brito with a nice TKO.
I like that pick. I can't really hate on it because at the end of the day, like Algeo also known for spotty takedown defense. Not bad at getting up, though. I got to give credit. He's not bad at getting his way up to the feet. I will say, now that you bring up the apex point, that's a real factor. You are right.
Yes.
You are definitely right on that one. From range, Algeo has his advantages, but in close, if Brito lands that hook down, I could see Algeo getting stopped here because Brito hits with power. And when you got a guy swinging 100% at you and your style is hands low, there's a good possibility your chin's getting checked in that fight. And this might be the case with these two.
Absolutely. I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard that Wonder Boy no longer wants to fight at the Apex because it's too close for his karate style. He's like always up in your grill. He would much rather fight in that big cage where he can move around a lot. That would be a lot better for Algeo. I think Brito gets to him. I think that aids in his ability to blitz him, and that's where he shines, man. Blitzing with punches, shooting takedowns, overpowering people. It's the right matchup for him in that phone booth of a cage.
Yeah, you're right on that one, man. I'm going to still slight lean towards Algeo, but I said I want to see these guys facing off. I want to see them on the scales because I do like the striking style of Algeo. And I feel like Brito, though he's a savage, there are a couple of things where I see openings, whereas a guy maybe that has good straight punches and range management can get it off. But the cage is a factor because if right away 2 steps back, next thing you know what, Algeo's back's against the cage, Brito can easily shoot in, try to control him against there 100%. The size of the cage has a real matter in this one.
You start worrying about those takedowns, all of a sudden, boom, he comes up with the hands. You know, you're worried, is he going to be high, low, boom, boom, hands into the takedown. It really helps guys when they can get you against that fence, and it's a lot easier to do at the UFC Apex by design. So, look, it's a different fight. It makes it a little bit different. I think either way I'd be going Brito, but it just gives me a little more confidence, a little bit more confidence in this one. Look, it's a good fight. There's definitely a way for Algeo to win. He wants to keep it at range and snipe him. Okay, pick him off. When somebody throws a looping shot at you, a straight punch is a great way to respond.
Yeah, I agree. But is Algeo the guy to do it? We will find out on Saturday. So we got a little bit of difference on the picks here. Not a strong go play that dog with everything you got for Algeo, but he is an underdog. I'll pick here. And then Mike on the opposite side with Brito, who's an exciting Brazilian prospect nonetheless. Now let's look finalized odds. Brito minus 120, Algeo plus 120 at best value. Either way, you can get some solid plays there. Good money.
Good money. I like it. I like it. It is one of those fights where I'm not betting the house on that one. I like what you said, you know, be conservative about it, but I like Brito.
I like it. I like it. Let's keep on running up the card. We got more to talk about here. Royval versus Bontorin will be the next one.
Let's go.
I'm so excited. This fight has me pumped. That's what I'll say about this fight. It has me absolutely pumped because Brandon Royval's style is just so fun to watch. Hard guy to predict. He's got the spinning back elbow that he landed on Kai Kara France. His stand-up game is good and it's getting better. He's also super rangy on the floor. You got a dangerous jiu-jitsu grappler. I feel like there is so much to like about Brandon Royval as potential of contendership. I see him as a future contender. I look at Bontorin and I see a guy that can't make the bantamweight 135 weight limit. So why is he fighting at 125? I'm lost, man. What do you think about that? Like, if you're the UFC, why would you book this guy at 25 when he just missed weight at 35? How's he going to make 25? I don't understand.
He's just gonna cut an arm off, bro. He'll be fine. Okay. Come on.
Okay. He comes in. I'm saying this. He comes in at 127.5 at the lowest, man. I think he's missing weight.
I have no idea. And you know what? The UFC specifically has been pretty big on that. You know, if you miss weight, they like you to go up. You know, they've done that to a few guys who we don't have to sit here and name. Nobody wants to miss weight, but they've done that a few times now, you know.
But
so
Bontorin missed weight up a class, which is blowing my mind. Why would you let him? So he misses weight at 35 and now he's at 25? I don't understand. I really don't understand. I've never heard of this.
Maybe he leaned out. Maybe he got on the Atkins diet, bro. Maybe he's out there running. You know,
you got on Weight Watchers, man.
I have no idea. All I know is this is a badass fight.
It is.
When I look at these two, I just love the matchup. Let's show Royval some love first. The dude is dynamic. I don't know if he's going to do a spinning back elbow. I don't know what he's going to throw at me at any time in that cage. So it puts you on edge. And for a kind of a bread and butter striker like Bontorin, who wants to slow everything down, who had a lot of trouble with Kai Kara-France on the feet. Remember Royval strangled Kai Kara-France. So I think that Bontorin has, maybe some problems on the feet with Royval. Royval, very dynamic. With that being said, when Royval spins, he likes spinning back fist, spinning elbows. He's a little wild. He takes risks. And when he takes risks like that, if there's somebody just sitting there waiting, they're like, all right, I think he's going to spin now. Boom! He could catch him, man. So watch out for Bontorin. Bontorin could still make something happen on the feet, though Royval, I'd have to say, is the better striker. On the floor, Royval's a jiu-jitsu black belt. Bontorin's a jiu-jitsu black belt. How does it go down? Look, I think that Royval's jiu-jitsu is a little slicker, but when we're talking about the strength advantage of Bontorin, the size advantage of Bontorin, does that equal it out? I think that actually takes it completely the other way. Even though Royval's slick, I don't think he's slick enough to catch Bontorin. I think Bontorin takes him down, and I like the underdog in this fight. Look, I must say, AJ, I've been on the fence about this one all week. I've been looking back at this one and trying to figure it out. I had a conversation with somebody today where they were taking Royval, and I was, maybe, but I think the size advantage is going to make a big difference as long as this weight cut doesn't kill him. I think Bontorin can get on top of him, win 2 out of 3 rounds, get his hand raised.
Wow, you're gonna go Bontorin by a decision. I'm actually surprised, man. I'm on the raw dog. You can't pull me out of that one, man. I'm coming out. Can't go too explicit. Shit. I apologize. But listen, bro.
Shit. This is a family show, AJ. Whoa.
I'm sorry. Listen, we got to bleep this part out, man. This is it's 2022 now, bro. It's R-rated. But I'll tell you this. Straight up, man. I think that Brandon Royval's stand-up game is going to be a problem for Bontorin because of Bontorin's issue of low volume and low stamina. Because he knows he gets tired, he throws less strikes. But then he throws less strikes, getting outmatched on the feet, and then he still, I think, goes out there and loses. Matt Schnell fight is at 35, right? So he looked pretty decent against Matt Schnell, but this is 25. That's cutting off excess weight. The weight cut's going to be an issue. I could see him getting tired, man. I'm going to go Royval to win, potential inside the distance. I don't know why I'm thinking he might lock up the submission. I'm thinking maybe a Royval submission win after hurting him on the feet. I'm going on the opposite side of the fence here, man.
Okay. I like it. Look, it's very possible. I could not pick this one. So if we were like over here in my living room and I didn't have to pick, I totally would not be picking this fight. I have no idea. Please don't go bet your house on Bontorin. However, that size advantage is a big deal. And if you guys watch Brandon Royval, let's give an example. How about Kai Kara-France? He has Kai Kara-France's back. Kai Kara-France gets out of there, gets in the top position. If Bontorin is able to get into the top position, I think Royval's having problems, man. I think Bontorin's going to hurt him a little bit, beat him up a little bit, be able to stay on top of him. That's a big, strong black belt to have on top of you, man. I think Bontorin is the one who's going to control the position of the squirmy and, snake-like Royval. With that being said, Royval could spinning back elbow him in the face, flying knee into flying guillotine, and then just throw up a triangle standing. Like, I have no idea. The dude is dynamic. Like the guy can put it together. So please, guys, be conservative on this one. I have no idea who's gonna win this fight, but a gun to my head, I'm going underdog.
I like it. I respect it. Good, solid pick. Opposite sides of the fence here on this one. Royval for me, Bontorin for my man Mike Finch. The odds are not bad either, no matter what side you're on. Maybe you want to go the favorite, Royval. You can find them down at like minus 160 best value, plus 150 for Bontorin on the opposite side. So some good action betting-wise. Have to look at the props. You're thinking Bontorin wins a decision here, so I am just curious the value. It would be sitting at plus 375 for Royval to win by a submission, plus 175. So not great. Royval wins inside distance, only plus 105. So Royval is getting loved by the lines here. I mean, they're eating him up. He's getting close to, favorite status, even to win by inside the distance finish, which maybe sleeping on Bontorin a little bit on the lines. So maybe some value. That's a good play. I'm liking that you're on the dog side of a fight that I didn't expect you to be. I'll be honest, I didn't think that.
Yeah, and just barely, just dipping my toe into the dog side of the fight. They have a common opponent in Kai Kara-France. So look at what Bontorin was doing to Kai Kara-France. He was taking him down, ragdolling him, dealing with him just fine. So, Bontorin's powerful, man, and then look at what Kai Kara-France is doing now. He's like knocking on the door for a title shot, So for Royval to find that rear naked choke, that says a lot. With that being said, I look at the positional losses of, in that fight, like Kai Kara-France is not the best grappler, guys. So for Royval to lose a couple positions on him, eventually get that rear naked, I think, for sure it's going to be harder to submit Bontorin. For sure it's going to be a tougher fight for him, man. And then the size advantage makes the difference. The size advantage, the strength advantage is the difference for me.
Yeah, and styles make fights at the end of the day, regardless of, one guy lost to this one guy beat that one. The style makes the fight. Let's keep on running. The next fight of the night, we got some ladies here. Katlyn Chookagian, Jennifer Maia. It's a rematch too. They've been at it once before. And honestly, when I look at the fight, it's hard for me to see it going very differently than the first fight. Jennifer Maia has an excellent jiu-jitsu game, but she's not an explosive wrestler. She's not going out there blasting doubles, doing hip tosses, all different types of things to get fights to the floor. I feel like her style to get this fight to the floor, probably have to press Chookagian against the cage, work for a trip or takedown from there, which with the height disparity is not going to be easy to do. I feel like Chookagian's pretty strong in the clinch for herself. Her stand-up game's pretty decent. Good straight punches. She's got a nice jab. I think Maia's a little bit too flat and basic on the feet. I think she's going to have a hard time really closing that distance or doing any damage. And even though, right, she might have opportunities to get lockups and, maybe work towards takedowns, I think that Chookagian's size and experience at this level is a factor. If it goes to the floor, Maia definitely has a chance with her jiu-jitsu, but getting it there is going to be a problem. I see Chookagian probably winning a decision here, which she's kind of known for at this point. What do you think about this one, Mike?
I think we're looking at a pretty competitive fight. I think, Chookagian is going to be really good on the outside. Like you said, she's very long. She's a sniper. She wants to land and move. And what Maia wants to do is get that takedown, but her takedown game, unless it's improved, I don't think is at the level that she'll need it to be at. If you guys remember when Valentina Shevchenko got a hold of Chookagian, she took her down, passed, got to crucifix position, and beat her face in. Like, that was very, very impressive grappling. If Maia can put a sequence like that together, if Maia can get a takedown, get past that guard, yeah, like she could finish Chookagian. I think Maia's stronger, so when she's on top, the advantage might really start to swell up. With that being said, can she get there? Can she close the distance, get her hands clasped, and get that takedown? I haven't seen enough ability in her wrestling yet to bet on her. If Maia had the far superior wrestling, this would be a totally different conversation. She's at a big reach disadvantage. And Chookagian's pretty active on the feet, likes to kind of just, like you said, like chip away. I think Chookagian's going to do that and get a decision, man. It's tough to say that this fight's going to go much differently. And listening to Chookagian, she was like, I want to fight somebody new. She's like, I wanted, this and that. So when you're hearing that from them, it makes me wonder, like, how motivated was she in training for this? So it starts making me kind of pull away from betting on her. So I'm keeping my money in my pocket on this one, but I think Maia lacks the takedown ability to get the dub.
Yeah, I think we're on the same spot here. So you're going Chookagian as well. Team Chookagian here. Odds for her, best value wise, you can find her around -175. Opposite side, Maia about +160. I like Chookagian to win by a decision, but at the value you can find it at, I don't know. I don't know if it's worth a stab. I'd rather just put a little more for Moneyline if you're going towards the betting side of this one, because Chookagian by decision is -120 best value. So you already got it in that favorite status, even trying to play that.
Yeah, guys, save the money for the main event. We're going to have some fun.
Yes. We're getting close to it. We have the co-main event. up next, which was originally supposed to be that Maia fight, but they decided to switch the order. If it's incorrect and this isn't the finalized order, blame Tapology, not us on this one here. We'll talk about it. It's Jake Collier versus Chase Sherman. At one point, Jake Collier was a shredded 185 pounder. Now he is bigger than Roy Nelson once was. But what he still has is the
Crazy.
movement. He's just as light on his feet as once prior. Listen, there's guys that played college sports. They get a little bit fat later in life. And if they're not, past a certain age, they still can move pretty good, right? They're a high level athlete. At one time, you still kind of retain just enough of that base. You got Collier training. He's turned into a quick heavyweight. He's quick out there. His hands move fast. I thought that he beat Carlos Felipe. I think that, we kind of got lucky because I picked Felipe in that fight, but I thought that Collier should have won. Got lucky with that one. I think Jay Collier could be a problem for Chase Sherman. There's things Chase Sherman does. I don't know the exact words, but it's high chin and he'll throw like combination shots and he'll do this like weevil wobble type thing, I guess is the best way to describe it, which is just a bit awkward. Granted, not like he goes out there and gets knocked out often, but he has been knocked out in the past. Lately, it's been a lot of decisions for both these guys. I feel like Jay Collier has the speed, and if he lands a big left hook, he's 265. I could see Chase Sherman getting dropped here. I'm kind of leaning Jay Collier for the knockout.
We're on the same page, brother. Look, Collier is just going to be a little bit ahead in this one. Here's what Sherman said at the pre-fight press conference. He said that he agrees that he feels like he's fighting for his job. He's saying, I win this fight, my career goes one way. I lose this fight, my career goes another way. So what does that tell me? We might see somewhat of a desperate Sherman, right? And if Sherman gets a little desperate and he's throwing big punches and Collier, he likes to stay a little bit back, kind of move his head and throw looping shots back. It kind of counters a little bit wide. I think he might catch him, man. As Sherman moves his head off that center line and throws, I think Collier's going to find him around that outside and catch his chin with one of those hooks, man. I like Collier in this fight. I think the matchup makes sense for him. I'm going to pick him by knockout.
I love it. I'm glad we're on the same page, man. I'm seeing the KO in this fight.
Yeah.
I do think there's a good possibility. Collier, slightest of favorites, minus 120. The knockout prop bet is available here for decent money. Collier by KO is plus 500. Is that a steal? Because it's heavyweights. Are you kidding me? Plus 500? I think sprinkle that one. You have to. Plus 500, you have to.
Careful. This is the Moneyline show, y'all. This is how I normally bet. I go Moneyline. I go straight down the pipe. Careful, but yes, those are good odds. For knockout, I think that's wrong. I think that there's more of a likelihood that Collier can get that KO. With that being said, he has not shown that ability in the UFC. He's not shown that ability at the highest levels of mixed martial arts when you incorporate like the top 20 heavyweights. He has not shown that type of ability at that level. And if you listen to Collier in his own words, he says that, when he's like trying to find their chins and that he's not putting it together to get these KOs. He thinks he's able to, and he keeps falling short when he goes out there. Like that's his objective. And he's saying at this level, he's having a lot of trouble doing it. I think this is the right fight for him to find that KO if he can do it. And we're going to find out what type of power he has and if he's capable. And dude, I think he is. He puts punches together pretty well. He stays in there pretty well. I don't think, it's not beautiful striking, but it's effective. I think he finds the chin. I think he gets it done.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. And you know what? His last knockout was so long ago. It was against a fighter named Alberto Uda, who at the time was 10-0. He won by knockout in the second round. This is in 2016 in the middleweight division. That's crazy.
That is crazy. It's tougher to knock out heavyweights, So, maybe that's one thing he's running into. He's bigger, they're bigger. Just a different ball game, man. I think this is a potential for him to get his first heavyweight KO.
I agree. Cannot wait for this fight. Expect fireworks. I'm glad this is now listed as the co-main event. I hope it stays this way because you get a banger of a heavyweight fight right before we get into the featherweight savages here, because this fight right here is right towards the top. We're going to pull it up right now. It is the main event of the evening. Guys, if you haven't, smashed the hell out of that like button. If you're new, subscribe and turn those post notifications on. We got to talk the main event. Kattar, Chikadze, title implications, especially for Giga Chikadze here. What are you thinking about this fight, Mike? I'm going to let you lead it off for the main event.
I think this is the big moment for Giga Chikadze here. He's kicking off the year. They put him in a prime spot, and he's against an opponent that's going to let him shine, man. Look, the type of fight that Calvin Kattar likes is right in your face. He likes to fight in close, in boxing range. He was in there with Shane Burgos, and it was a really tough, grueling fight, and Shane was starting to catch him a little bit. Eventually, he got that knockout. That's where he shines. Where does Giga Chikadze shine? Look, everybody gives him credit for being this Muay Thai kickboxer, and he's phenomenal with his Muay Thai and kickboxing. But what was the first thing he started with? Karate. He has that karate distance where he fights a row back. So the type of fight that Kattar wants to fight is not in the same range of Giga Chikadze. AJ, have we ever seen Calvin Kattar have an issue with range? Oh, yeah. Max Holloway beat his face into oblivion because Max Holloway fights just a little further range than Kattar likes to, and he was able to just control that range. He stays right at the edge where he's making a miss and putting punches on him. Max Holloway found the range and timing so well against Calvin Kattar that he was looking at the commentator saying, "I'm the best boxer in the UFC," and then punching him in the face. I mean, that's how well he got the timing down. So you tell me how well he can get the timing down, or how well Giga Chikadze can get the timing down, rather, being a two-time world kickboxing champion, K1 style. Giga was a European kickboxing champion. He's come into mixed martial arts, knocked out Cub Swanson with one kick to the body, knocked out Edson Barbosa. Very tall task, man. I think this is a great fight for Giga Chikadze. I think Giga Chikadze shows us the Giga kick. I think Giga Chikadze shows us the Giga knee, the Giga right hand. I think that he becomes one of the only, if not the only, I know you got Tapology up, so check for me, guy to finish Calvin Kattar.
He would be the first.
Giga in 5 rounds puts Calvin away, looks good doing it, and becomes the guy who deserves that title shot, man. I gotta love Korean Zombie. But Giga Chikadze knocks Korean Zombie out. Giga Chikadze is one of the best, if not the best striker in mixed martial arts, and I think this is a showcase fight for him.
Yeah, I agree. Showcase. And it would be the first time Kattar's ever been knocked out. He was submitted on the regional scene. Just something to quickly note there. I feel like Calvin Kattar, a tough SOB, is going to bring it. He's going to come forward. He's going to look to make it a fight. He's going to get his hands going. He's a Boston guy, bro. These Boston dudes, they take beat downs, man. They'll take the ass whippings. And we've seen it before. The thing is, that beating he took against Max Holloway, that's a lot to recover from. And now you're fighting Giga Chikadze. What is Max Holloway not known for? Knockout power. He's known for being a volume striker who can beat you with his volume, his combos. And I mean, he knocked out Jose Aldo twice, but Aldo was tired, right? You look at this fight, I think Giga Chikadze has the touch of death as far as technical striking goes. Not like an Ngannou where he's just swinging his arm like this and he's going to sleep you. He's got technical precision that is on point beyond anything, we've seen in the featherweight division. I don't know, maybe ever, besides maybe a McGregor, right? Like a pure Conor McGregor style timing. The timing is off the charts for Giga. The movement is very good. The only question is, can he go 5? I have to say, I believe he's going to be able to. He's got an elite team over at King's MMA. I feel like you look high-level kickboxer for years. That cardio translates. I believe he's training his ass off. He's ready for the highest level of competition. And I have seen Giga Chikadze improve. I remember the first fight I saw of him. He fought Austin Springer on the Contender Series, and he lost by submission. And we're like, damn, he sucks. He's done. Game over. Now looking, flash, 4 years forward, maybe a little bit less. This guy's right now, I think, in the running for title shot. If there's any potential issue with the fight between Chan Sung Jung and Volkanovski, who can we call? A Giga Chikadze who doesn't take a lot of damage in this fight. I don't expect that he does either. I'm going Giga Chikadze wins by knockout. I'm thinking 3rd or 4th round here. And I really feel like 2022, there's a chance Giga fights for the belt, especially if he gets a bit of luck on his side. Somebody pulls out. I'll be honest, Volkanovski knows the striking game of Giga. That's why he didn't wait. He's like, I'm not waiting for Giga Chikadze to win in 1st round knockout, and then they force me to fight this savage. I want to see some more guys fight him. I want to see him work his way up. I want to hold off. Volkanovski knows this is a real lion on the rise. And I'm going Chikadze, win by knockout, and a future title challenger, potential champion as well.
Absolutely. That is what Henry Cejudo told me over the weekend. So I was blessed to be able to go interview Henry Cejudo just a couple days ago. And when I talked to Henry, first off, he said he wants to fight Volkanovski. He wants to fight Holloway. He does not want to fight Giga Chikadze. And we were laughing about it back and forth. If you guys want to check that out, you can go ahead on the Instagram. Mike Finch Show is the Instagram. You can also check it out on YouTube. Just type in Mike Finch MMA. You'll see my channel. Look, we're going to drop that whole Henry Cejudo interview. He does not want the smoke with Giga, and it was hilarious. And I 100% see what he's saying, man. We have sparring on Friday. I shouldn't say we. I used to train at King's MMA more often, and they spar on Fridays. So when they spar on Fridays, I would go into the gym. I'd be rolling Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'd be training with the pro team. We spar and all that. And people are like, hey, show up on Friday. Everybody's there. I'm like, everybody's there? You mean Giga's there? They're like, yeah. I'm like, F that, AJ. I am not sparring with Giga Chikadze because, good, lot of respect for him, but I've heard from some people he'll throw a little knee to the face. He'll definitely go at it in sparring, man. Giga Chikadze's got one mode. He's either on or off, right? You turn the vacuum on, you're gonna get the full power, and that's what Giga Chikadze does in these fights. He fights. A lot of people get out there and they need like this feeling out process, and they need to kind of warm up and kind of get into a fight, get hit a little bit. You remember Forrest Griffin saying that back in the days, like, I need to see some blood before I'm in the fight. No, Giga comes in and he is ready to decapitate you, man. When Giga throws a kick, he is trying to break your ribs. He is trying to dig his big toe as deep as he can into your soul. He is a absolute marauder on the feet. And what people are going to have to do to deal with Giga Chikadze is close the distance, clasp their hands together, drag him onto the floor, and beat him on the ground. Is Calvin Kattar the guy to do it? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I mean, we got to give him some credit. I think people do sleep on Kattar's wrestling. He was a state wrestling champ level type guy, but he doesn't use it in MMA. He is a striker in mixed martial arts. And you know why? Because sometimes guys find it a lot easier to use that takedown defense they have from the years of wrestling than, really perfecting the timing of takedowns and then the top control, the jiu-jitsu from the top position. I'm not saying he's not training it, but he's not specializing it. And I don't see him beating Giga Chikadze here. I see Giga. Impressive. I don't want to spar Giga either, man. The only way I'd be willing to spar him, give me maybe 2 years to train, and it's only boxing. No fucking kicks at me, Giga. No knees to the face, motherfucker. Just
Giga
box
can
out for the
box
head.
too. Giga can box too. Did you see that right hand
knocked out by a straight than a knee, man.
Oh my gosh. You see that right hand against Barbosa? Bam! He was letting that thing go so fast. Wow, was he explosive. He has got some good punches too, man. I always see him hitting mitts. Always hitting mitts. I come into the gym, I'm warming up, he's hitting mitts. I'm done training, he's still over there hitting mitts. I'm like, damn, this guy puts in a lot of work. Giga Chikadze is always in the gym working, man. Lives at King's MMA, bro. I don't know if he's at his house more, or if he's at King's MMA more, but Rafael Cordero loves him, and it's such a good matchup. Rafael Cordero is the coach, and Giga Chikadze is the athlete. It's just a perfect link because Rafael Cordero likes to put people away with kicks and knees and elbows and all that stuff as well. So when you got the Giga kick, this incredible kinetic energy he's developing with his rear leg, he could do it either stance, by the way. It's such a good matchup because Rafael Cordero is the scientist who knows how to set that thing up, who knows how to put it in there. If you guys watch, for instance, Giga does what George St. Pierre did and what a couple great strikers will do, which is they'll lie with their eyes. He'll look at your body and then he'll kick your body. And then he'll look at your body and then he'll kick you in the head. And you even subconsciously are picking up that cue. Like, oh, okay, he's going body now. And he kicks you so hard in the body, you have to block it. If you don't block it, you're going to get knocked out to the body. He's very accurate too, right? A lot of people just throw a body kick. No. He knows where your liver is located. He knows the zip code. He knows the street. He knows the exact address, and he goes and finds that thing over and over again. He's done it in kickboxing. He's done it in Glory. He's done it in Europe. He's done it all over the world. Now he's doing it in Las Vegas for the UFC. And I think that Giga Chikadze is the best kicker in mixed martial arts. Now that we've hyped Giga all the way up, let me drop something for Kattar. Kattar has knocked out Shane Burgos. Kattar is absolutely dangerous with his hands. If he hits anyone clean in the chin, he can knock them out. And Giga likes to stand up pretty tall. So you would think maybe if Giga's in a bad spot, trips over his ankle, gets calf kicked, can't walk funny, Calvin Kattar can come in and close the show out on any human being on this earth. And also listen to Calvin. Listen to him at the pre-fight press conference, guys. He said the number one mistake I made against Max Holloway is that I was not diverse in my approach. When the striking wasn't going my way, I didn't mix it up. I think that's about a direct quote right there at the end, And so when the striking isn't going his way with Giga, what is he going to do? I think he's learned from his mistakes. Calvin Kattar is not the guy who got beat up by Max Holloway. This is 9 months. What, a year ago? Is it a year ago now?
About 11 months, yeah.
11 months ago. So 1 year ago. In 1 year, you can really sharpen up your MMA takedown game. Even though we haven't seen it a lot from him in the UFC yet, like you said, he is a wrestler. And if he puts that together on Giga, that could shock a lot of people. And that would be his best method to victory by far. So if Calvin Kattar is as smart as I think he is, he will be shooting takedowns, trying to press Giga against the fence. And let's be honest, guys, it's the UFC Apex. It's a smaller cage. So that actually does favor that grappling heavy style, that pressure style that Calvin likes. He already likes to put the car in drive anyway. So while that car's in drive and he's getting in your face, those level changes with the takedowns will open up punches. It just makes perfect sense for him to be a full, complete mixed martial arts fighter in this fight. So we can't write Calvin Kattar off. The problem is he hasn't fought in a year. His last fight, he got beat up by a great striker, and now he's fighting the best striker in the world. Giga Chikadze, knockout late.
I like it, man. You covered a good amount of topics on it. I mean, I feel like you look at the matchup, it's favoring Giga strongly, but Calvin Kattar is still a problem. He's still a top guy. I mean, I'm not writing Kattar off just yet, but in this matchup, it's hard to go against Giga Chikadze. What we've seen has been fantastic. Betting side of things, though, you're looking at a little high price tag for Giga. You're sitting at minus 215. Calvin Kattar plus 205. Are you a wild man going Giga Chikadze by KO? Maybe you are. You can find the value of that upwards of plus 170. I actually think that's a pretty nice touch if you're thinking about it, because
he's got
plus
170.
He's got 5 rounds to knock this man out. It's a great fight. It's one I cannot wait for. Great to have the fights back, a sweet main event, the updated Moneyline look. So we got a big year coming at you guys in 2022. We're not done yet, though. You know what section is next, Mike. The Moneyline lock of the night. What's yours? That's the ultimate question, man. What is yours, Mike?
Excellent fight card, guys. Up and down this fight card. I love these fights. If I had to give you like no odds, if it didn't matter, my lock of the night's Giga Chikadze. The guy trains down the street from me. I've grappled with him before. He comes into the gym I teach at, UFC Gym Huntington Beach, and works out. Super nice guy. Like always been really cool to me. And then watching him fight, I've bet on Giga all the way up. I called it when he was gonna knock out Cub Swanson. A lot of people thought didn't like the other matchup. So Giga for sure. But guys, we got to look at the odds here. All right. The odds aren't so sexy for Giga Chikadze. So with that being said, I like Brahimaj over Court McGee. I think Brahimaj, this is his big coming out party. I think Brahimaj goes ahead and becomes the first guy to submit Court McGee in the UFC, if I'm not mistaken. And Brahimaj just stays on a roll, man. He gets a hold of Court. He gets his back. He finds the rear naked choke. I don't think the odds are correct on that one. That's the one where the odds I think are the most out of whack for me. I'm going to go Brahimaj by submission. At least Brahimaj money line with those odds, guys. Brahimaj is my lock of the night.
Minus 110 range for Brahimaj, depending where you go as well. So there's some good options there. On my side, I'm going to give you my money line lock of the night. And you know who I'm going to do it for? I'm going to give it up to Jake Collier for my money line lock of the night. Maybe a little bit of a higher risk action, but I see it. I see the stylistic matchup being favorable. It's heavyweight, one touch. Of course, it could end. Both of us have given you guys some money style money line picks because the value is close. I'm not telling you, hey, go bet minus 300 Brian Kelleher. No, that's not valuable. That's not the value betting side of things. Minus 120 range, Jake Collier, I'm thinking he's winning by knockout. It's Team Collier for the win. We're both on Jake. We're both on Brahimaj. The two locks that we have here are agreed upon. So I think some high potential here, Mike. Some high potential.
There we go. There we go. I think, what did I do? I took Jose Aldo lock of the night, and one of you guys left a comment like, he's so crazy for saying Jose lock of the night. Ha ha. So look, I feel like this is another one where Brahimaj, people are just not yet giving him the respect he deserves. Jose wasn't getting respect coming into that fight. I feel the same thing here. People are going to start knowing who this guy is, man. He's much more dangerous on the ground than people are giving him credit for, and I think this is his big coming out party. And like you said with the heavyweights, man, it just makes a lot of sense that Collier puts his hands together and gets Sherman out of there, or at least wins a decision. If you go money line with these two, I think you're going to come out looking good.
Yeah, I think we can get some nice cashers, both good value in the low 100s range to put down to make 100 back. So those are some solid money line plays. Overall, I think we got a really great card to come back. ESPN Plus, of course, at the Apex. The main event is great. Calvin Kattar, Giga Chikadze. You got the flyweight action between Brandon Royval, Bontorin, women's flyweight, Chookagian, Maia. I mean, you look through the entire thing, you got some fights. And you know what? We also get to see how Joanderson Brito, coming off the Contender Series, does against an experienced guy in Bill Algeo. And if you look through what was originally supposed to be on the card, we've lost some fights, unfortunately, man. We were supposed to get Michelle Pereira, Muslim Salikov, which would have been a crazy fight. We're supposed to get the debut of Clayton Rodriguez. Sadio Cup Karamanov was supposed to fight. But you know what that tells us? There's excitement in the near future because those fighters will be fighting very soon. Some rescheduling has gone down.
True. Look, so much exciting stuff. Like the one that got rescheduled too, Lil Monster. I was going to interview her, and we didn't end up making it happen. We're going to do it after the fight, but she's going to now fight on the Anaheim card. So she's right there, guys. You got this card right here. You got the UFC Anaheim card. You got Bellator coming back to Phoenix, Arizona, with Ryan Bader fighting for the heavyweight title. You're defending his belt, and you got to love all the action we're about to get, guys. If you're an MMA fan, the drought is over. The rain has come. We are about to see some action, and I think the year is going to be kicked off beautifully with a Giga kick this Saturday. Guys, enjoy the fights. We're going to be here breaking down every single card. You guys will see us every single Thursday here with Moneyline. Keep it here for your fight picks.
Yeah, guys, make sure to subscribe, turn the post notifications on. Like this video, of course, and also give my man Mike Finch a subscription, maybe a follow on social media. I'll link it up in the description, and you guys can check him out. He's going to be getting some big interviews coming. The Henry Cejudo one's got me excited, man. I can't wait to hear that one. I've heard good things, man. I've heard a lot already, little behind the scenes, and I can't wait to when I actually get to sit down and watch that one, man. It's going to be fuego.
That one is going to be epic. We're doing something a little different with the Henry Cejudo interview. So cool to sit down with Henry at his place in Scottsdale, Arizona. Such a beautiful place to live, man. Scottsdale was so warm. It was so nice going to Fight Ready. I got to be a fly on the wall and go ahead and watch sparring of Davison Figueiredo. I got to watch him spar 5 rounds. It was closed doors sparring. They did it where like Captain Eric was out there like doing the Bruce Buffer part with a fur coat on, and they had booze playing on big speakers, and it was like his final sparring leading up to this title fight, and he looked good. That's all I can tell you.
That's what I was about to ask. How did he look?
He looked real sharp, brother.
Who he was sparring against? Can we get the name of who that was against him?
Yes, it was the name I can't say from the fighter from Kyrgyzstan. I guarantee you guys could go look him up.
He's in the UFC?
Say again?
In the UFC from Kyrgyzstan?
No, he's not in the UFC yet. No,
Okay.
no. He had a UFC shirt on though. He wanted to be in the UFC. I
Cool.
interviewed him, and that's what he was saying. He says the next step for him is the UFC. I was trying to get him into Bellator. I was like, dude, I'm with Bellator. Like, come fight for us, man. This would be way more fun. I'll be able to be there cage side with you. But no, he
That's
wants to
funny.
go directly to the UFC. And also there were some Brazilians jumping in with him. No names. No, it's top secret, AJ. I can't be giving you all the names and telling you stuff about the sparring. What type of guy do you think I am? I was very honored to be there and watch him spar though, and all I could say is he looks healthy, he looks ready, and I'm super excited for the fight. I'm super excited to see this one again. A lot of people are writing Davis and Figueiredo off, and especially after seeing that sparring, I'm not.
Yeah, don't be. We got great action coming, man. We got this weekend. We got next weekend, the pay-per-view card with 2 titles on the
We'll
line.
talk about it. We'll
We got a
break it
lot of
down.
stuff coming. I'm looking forward to it, guys. Keep it locked in. Mike, finish what you got to say. I saw you had something.
I was saying maybe we give you a little, a little nugget of info or something on the breakdown. I can't you can't talk about sparring before somebody fights. You can only talk about it after, so that'll be more fun to talk, like, because game plans, man, they don't want people in there spying on them while they're sparring, you know.
You're right. Don't say nothing,
we can,
man. We don't need you as a mole, Mike.
we can break it down though. We can break down the fight. AJ, I'm a big fan of both of them. Big fan of Davis and Figueiredo. Big fan of Brandon Moreno. And then the main event, Cyril Gane and Francis Ngannou. Guys, we will see you next week from Moneyline. Yes. Tune in. You're going to love it.
Keep it locked in, guys. Smash the like, subscribe, and turn those post notifications on. Much love to everybody. Thank you all for being here, watching the Moneyline 2.0. The updated look is just going to get better, and better. Peace, guys.